What now, motherfucker? You shy? Smart nigga. You always was. How you know?
Y'all taught me. Get there early. Why? What'd I do wrong?
Chris locked up behind something he done for you. And you downtown with the police?
I ain't say a word.
Yeah, that's what you say. But it's how you carry yourself. Always apart, always acting wild, when you should be doing what you told. You was never one of us. You never could be. How my hair look, Mike?
You look good, girl.
Now, personally, I think Michael Lee might be one of the most relatable characters on the show. He represents another inner city kid being forced to grow up too fast. Now, for y'all who watching, if you're anything like me and you grew up in a house where your folks did drugs, you know that household I'm talking about, that atmosphere, you feel me? The first thing that tends to break children like Michael, what converts them to the streets, is too much responsibility. See, a 13-year-old looking after his little brother is one thing, but a 13-year-old taking care of his little brother is too much of a burden. If you're in the 8th grade and you have to worry about what you and your sibling is going to eat tonight, homework becomes less important. Detention becomes less important, and school altogether stops mattering. Trust me, when young boys are hungry, the line between right and wrong becomes very blurry. And Dookie, another product of that environment, whom his peers think is stupid, is actually the most logical one of the group. Every day, Dookie lives with hunger. Every day, he lives with addicts who steal the little bit of things that he does have. And they are squatting out of those houses. So every day, Dookie lives with a fear of being evicted. Do you know what this does to a child psychologically? It strips away our imagination. That carefree imagination that every child needs to be a kid. Instead, we get too much reality in the house, causing us to think like rational adults. This is why Dookie is the one who debunked Chris being a zombie master. See, Dookie understood that Chris was creepy, but he just was another killer. He just was another man.
He dead.
He dead.
Lex too.
He dead, they all is. Feel better? Don't know wrong, yo. No special dead. It's just dead.
Now, although they had similar upbringings, the difference between Michael and Dookie is how they viewed the world and how they reacted to said view of the world. See, Dookie seems to be the youngest of his siblings, which gives him the privilege of waiting around to be saved. He lets his friends buy him food. He lets his friends shelter him when needed. And this is okay because that's what friends are for. But if you have no shame of letting another person take care of you, inevitably you will become dependent upon them.
They want to mix with they kind, man. They give me work. Who you talking to? I know what they be doing in that dude.
Now, Michael didn't have the luxury of waiting around to be saved because he had a younger brother. He had another human being that he was responsible for. And responsibility will make you a man far before your age does. Men, let me tell y'all something about duty. Now, a lot of times in life, out of pride, we will refrain from doing something or asking someone for something if it is regarding to us, no matter how bad we need it or how bad we want it. But the second our loved one is in trouble, our most significant loved one needs to get bailed out, we come up with thousands of dollars that we rarely ever have. We do what we have to do. We ask what we have to ask, because the need to protect that love is stronger than any petty pride or embarrassment. It's more important than your own life. Now, Mike's little brother Bug, he wasn't locked up, but in a sense, he did need to get bailed out. And just so happened, Marlo was the only bail bondsman on the west side.
Hey, fam.
Nah, probably copied from my mom's.
That's why.
Look, I told y'all, I just want him gone. Just want him away from me and Bug.
The fuck you did again?
Alright. Take care of it, boss.
Now, David Simons for sure said that Chris was sexually abused when he was younger, but due to budget and plot convenience, there was an agreement that it would just be insinuated. This is the reason why Micheal doesn't say it. He also insinuates it subtly. In this scene, Chris observes Micheal's face, and it's clear that he's familiar with this pain. It's intended for Snoop to be confused and Chris to understand why Micheal needs them. Prior to this meeting, Micheal just declined Chris' offer, telling him that I already have a family, one that comes first. And Chris, also having a family, respected this. He didn't compel Micheal to join them. So he knew the reason that this kid is here right now, ready to sacrifice his future with us, has to be for the sake of his family. He knew that Micheal wasn't lying.
What's this about?
Like you don't know.
Man, I ain't been home long enough to get in somebody's shit.
You like boys, motherfucker?
What?
Boys, you like fucking them?
Man, I like pussy. All right? Booty. I'm living with a woman now.
She got kids.
I ain't touching kids. Who told you that?
I know what you're saying. But when you're on the inside, ain't no pussy.
Well, yeah, shit. You been inside. Man gotta bust his nut, know what I'm saying?
I do.
Now, if he didn't have any plans on dying in this alleyway, what possessed him to say this to Chris? And what did you think the little light-skinned girl was carrying a bucket for? See, from Chris's perspective, if you had no self-control in jail, why should I believe you have any self-control out here? And grown people who are sexually abused tend to have a strong urge to protect children from going through similar circumstances. And they also tend to have a lack of mercy and a lack of patience with their idea of justice. Now, a lot of people's initial feelings for Marlo and Chris is that they lacked emotions, almost seeming robotic, especially Marlo. I don't think the nigga even blinked his eyes without thinking about it first. But in reality, They are just men. What they're displaying is not a lack of emotions. It's more of emotional restraint. Like any human being, once a particular nerve is hit, that restraint will wane, causing whatever you're holding in to come out briefly. This is how Chris loses his composure and wind up killing somebody out of anger. This is how Marlo loses his composure with the "my name is my name" speech, voicing his anger loudly, something he never does.
You call me a punk?
It was bullshit, man. You ain't need that on your mind.
What the fuck you know about what I need on my mind, motherfucker? My name was on the street. When we bounce from this shit here, I'm gonna go down in them corners, let them people know. Word did not get back to me. Let them know Marlo stepped to any motherfucker, Omar, Barksdale, whoever. My name is my name.
Don't see the boy snitching.
Neither do I. But you ready to bet your future on that?
Now, this scene was so important. The show actually led Marlo up to that defining moment of him losing that cool demeanor that he held for 3 seasons straight, showing the American viewer that Marlo is just as human as any of us. It may not be the name for you, but trust me, we all have a button that can be pushed. And for Michael Lee, it happened to be his brother. But what's mind-boggling to me is how does a sex offender get released from jail rather quickly, but back into the home of the victim he abused? You know, it's documented that the typical offender will sexually abuse a child over 100 times before he's ever caught for the first time. The reality for some of us is everything cannot be protected with righteousness alone. Sometimes people will point you down the wrong path and you will choose to walk, but this does not make you a bad person, because the cops cannot protect us from immediate danger. They might clean some things up afterwards, but in reality, there's only so much they can do.
You make out who that is?
Yeah.
Look at you. Not even blinking. Not that I blame you after what this heinous motherfucker did to you. Still, this right here is vicious. I mean, whoever did this had a real time, like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I know it wasn't you. Because with all due respect, you don't have the physicality to do this kind of damage. I mean, whoever did this had to be a full-grown and powerful individual, a fearsome individual. You see what I'm saying?
Do the work, boys. How the fuck would I know?
Now, by the time Bunk interrogates Michael, in the words of Bunny Colvin, he's already too seasoned. And Bunk naively makes the assumption that a few others also made. They focus in on Michael's age, underestimating him because he's just a kid.
He's just a kid.
Shit. You just a boy.
That's just a knee.
Now, I love how the show subtly communicates how an era is always transitioning. In season 3, Avon explains how before Omar Little picked up a shotgun, he too was also just a kid.
Oh, I got this for that other problem.
Huh? Who this?
Remember Fat Face Rick, right?
Been going to them co-op meetings with String. That's his cousin Trina.
Oh, you mean Trina with the big old ass?
Yeah, you own it. That's her work number. You know where she working at nowadays? She over at the Department of Social Services.
So you think Omar getting a check?
Nah, not now, but I mean, once upon a time before some fool gave little Omar a shotgun, I mean, cocksucker was somebody's child, right?
Now, with the untimely death of Omar, it actually left an opening in the streets, and Micheal was gradually being groomed for the position. Snoop was actually correct in the beginning. Micheal never was one of them, and he never could be. The thing is, Micheal never felt comfortable with being one of Marlo's pawns. And it wasn't out of fear, because he wasn't afraid of Marlo. It was out of respect for what he personally believed in. Murdering innocent people, indirectly destroying kids' lives, all for the sake of some invisible crime? No. Micheal felt like this was wrong. And Chris knew this is the reason he spoke out against Marlo. He felt like he was a hypocrite. But Marlo not being above lying, he continues to slander Michael's name. Not because he felt like he's snitching, but because his name was slandered. And Chris knows.
You getting out? You ain't. You hit the streets. You round up as much muscle as possible and get that boy.
He did Snoop because he knew we was on him.
And he knew we was on him because he didn't want to talk about the damn re-up.
Now, although they had Micheal robbing people with that old ass shotgun, we shouldn't look at him like the new Omar. He more just inherited Omar's will to stand up against people who others are afraid to stand up against. But this is just part one of Micheal's journey into the streets. It gets deeper. But what I want to do is cover all of my favorite characters and then do the sequels. It'll be more entertaining that way. And I gotta do Carcetti too. He's my favorite politician. But anyway, it's your boy Swartz, y'all. You here with a man's world. It's time for me to get out of here, y'all.